Hey there, welcome back. Now in this lecture, we are going to talk about ModelSerializer. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to comment everything right now. So we don't need this because we are going to write new serializer. So let me comment this one. Now we need to write complete ModelSerializer. That means we need to create a new class. And here I'm going to call it as movie serializer itself. And I'm going to import this serializers dot and we have ModelSerializer. Now this is pretty important for you to understand that this contains everything about our create, about our update and all these fields. So that means we don't have to write everything. All we need to do is just mention which model we are using, that means our movie model, and what type of field we need to work with. So if we use all, that means all fields. If we want to exclude any, we can do that. So we have all the control here with this ModelSerializer. If I jump onto my documentation right now, this ModelSerializer, and if I scroll up a bit, click on this serializer.py, open it in new tab. And here if you search about this ModelSerializer, if you just jump onto the class actually, this one, you will get more info about it, that it's just a regular serializer, except that we set all the default fields automatically. That means we populate them, we just set default validators, as well as we have .create as well as .update method implemented automatically. So if you scroll down a bit, you will see they have their own create method as well as they will have their own update method. So we don't have to do every single thing on our own manually. It will be taken care by this ModelSerializer. Also one thing, if you jump here, just go to API guide, click on serializers and then ModelSerializer. Now here you will see our example. If we need to create a serializer, all we have to do is define meta class. Inside that we need to define model as well as all the fields that we are going to work on. That's it, and everything is controlled by this ModelSerializer. So let us do that. So inside this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to define a class meta, and inside my meta, first I need to define my model, which is going to be movie, and then I need to define fields. So if you want to define each field individually, you can do that, or you can define all of them. So you can use quotations and then all. Make sure you to use this double underscore, and that's it. That's done to define our ModelSerializer. But if you need to add validations, you have to define them like this. You have to define them separately. Otherwise, there is no chance that our serializer will be aware of it. So you don't need to do all this. This will be taken care by our ModelSerializer. We have defined our class meta, defined the model and our fields. Now what happened behind the scene is we already have this model, we have all the fields, so our serializer map accordingly. Also we have defined our all fields, that means each individual field will be inside our serializer. Now we'll be talking about other fields, like maybe if we want to get access to only ID as well as name, or maybe we want to exclude any. But for now, let us test this one and then just talk about exclude as well as some individual element for these field. Let me save this one, check my terminal. My CMD is working fine. Jump back here and try to refresh this one. Try to add a new item. Let me call this as trf, and if I try to submit this one, you can see we have created an ID. Let me go to this list again. Yep, this is working fine. So we got our new element. So that means this serializer is working fine. But here remember we are using all fields. That means we have access to each one of them. But suppose if I try to access only ID, name as well as description. Let me try to hide this active. So what I'm going to do is, instead of this all, I can define each field individually. So I just need to pass a list or a tuple and then individual elements. So I'm going to use ID, and then I need to define name, and here I'm going to define description. That's it. So here I haven't mentioned my active field, and if I jump back here, refresh this one, you can see our active is gone. So in this way you can define the individual fields that you want. So there are chances if you are using 20 fields and you want only 19, instead of writing these 19, you can use excludes. So what I'm going to use is, I'm going to use this exclude, and here I can just mention that which field I don't want. So I can use active here. Let me comment this one. So I don't want this active field. So suppose there are 20 fields, I want 19, but I don't want this one. So I can do that. If I jump here, refresh this one, you can see the active is not there, but all the other fields are there. Maybe I don't want this name, but I want all the other fields. So now we have ID, description as well as active. I hope you got the idea. So that's how we are going to utilize these model serializer. So let me comment this exclude, and let me comment this field also, and here let me add field for all. So later if you access this code, you will have information about them. Now I hope you got the idea how to use these two type of views, that is our API view as well as this decorator, which is function based view. And I hope you got the idea how to use this normal serializer and how to use our model serializer. That's it. This was a quick video. Now remember, if you're using validators, you need to define them individually here. This was super important. Now in the next lecture, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about how to add new fields without mentioning them into models. So that means maybe we have all the information, maybe we have this name as well as description, and I want to specify a new field. I can do that here. Let me talk about this in the next lecture so you will have better understanding. Thank you for following, and in the next lecture let us discuss more.